Today I want to talk about something different, and I want to talk about the clean go routine. I have been going back to that again and watching YouTube videos of this whole clean girl thing, and I just really like it because it's exactly my lifestyle, and I wanted to find people who are thinking the same. So to me, I think being a person should be very low maintenance. At the same time, it should be elegant, classy, beautiful. I think that is what it should be. So and what does that look like? Let's start with from head to toe, body, and then let's talk about internal, and then let's talk about external. So beginning with physical appearance on the inside, physical appearance on the inside. Start with the head, hair. So because I do sports a lot, these 2 weeks are not very diligent, but in general I do sports almost every day. So of course I wash my hair every day, and in general I prefer washing my hair every day. I also bought a new like treatment for my hair just because it's available on sale. But in any case, I just use basic shampoo. I wash my hair every day. I love it because it's clean, it's healthy. At the same time, I also know I'm very lucky to have pretty thick hair, very straight hair, which means my hair is extremely easy to maintain. I don't really like curly hair on me, so I don't care about that. And my hair can't be curled anyway, so why want something you can't have? So not interested in that. My hair is also really straight, so anything I do about my hair is just really straight. It's very silky, it's very soft, and it's very thick as well, which makes my hair really easy. If I want, I just clip it up. Otherwise, I will just bun it up like when I go and dance ballet, or I tie it up when I go to do other sports, or I bun it up when I go to a bit more formal events, and I put a pin in there, or I can just go and run my day. My hair is also, it's like really black, which makes it easy because I can have all sorts of accessories on my hair, like this one here, and it just stands out, so it makes it very easy. I can be extremely lazy because it's easy, because I don't need to do anything with my hair, and it's fine. If one day my hair just feels really weird, I just wash it, normal soap, normal shampoo, voila, it's done. I don't even need to dry too much of it. It's just the way it is, I rarely wake up with like a bad hair day. If anything, when my hair was short, usually it curls in like this, both ends, but sometimes it does this, and it's just a bit annoying. But that's fine, you have long hair and just pin everything and bun everything up. So head-wise, easy. Okay, moving on, skin. So the skincare I do and the makeup I do is really basic. So when it comes to skincare, I wash my hair like 2 or 3 times a day, depends. Definitely every morning and every night. In fact, every morning I don't always wash my hair with soap every morning. Sometimes I just wash it with water, because I just watched some interview, and this lady said she was advised not to wash her face with soap in the morning, so your natural oil kind of protects your skin. Don't know if that's true or not, so I don't really care. Some days I wash with water, and some days I wash with soap. And then before I sleep, I definitely wash my face with soap. I also use super basic soap. I was trying a lot of different kind of soap. I realized my skin is a bit sensitive, especially around the nose. So I just use like very basic soap for sensitive skin. So I have that, and I have something that's like chemical exfoliant, and I use that. Technically, I should use that like 2 or 3 times a week, but I use that whenever I remember. So that's face. And the key thing is you wash your face like 1 minute every time, and that is how you keep your face clean, because it needs to be washed much longer to take the dirt out. Okay, so that is how I wash my face. I did LASIK, so that is, I guess that is considered surgery, so that's the only surgery I've had, and which means, you know, I can be a very lazy person. I don't need contact lens, I don't need to put on glasses. I can just wash my face and leave the house. Easy. With my teeth, I brush my teeth twice a day at least, and then I go to the dentist very frequently. Go to the dentist once every 6 months. I try to go more often than that, and my dentist said, no, you can go home because you don't have to come so often. Your teeth, they're all fine. So fine, I just go once every 6 months. So that's the skin, and then when it comes to skincare, I just put, what do I have? I have toner, because I don't know, one day I was in Japan with a friend and he's like, oh, this is really good, I'll buy a toner for you. So got a little travel size toner from Muji, and I don't think it makes a difference to my face, but I really liked it, so I bought a bigger bottle that I can use at home. I use it whenever I remember, but I have it in my toilet. I also use a moisturizer, and it's just some basic drugstore moisturizer. Works very well. I tried a lot of different things. I tried hyaluronic acid, I tried vitamin C, I tried a lot of different things. Turns out the cheap stuff, which a big tub coming from the pharmacy, was good enough, from the drugstore was good enough. So just put it on my face. Do it maybe once or twice a day before I sleep. Yeah. So that's what I do. I also have things like retinol, and I have tea tree oil. So retinol, technically you're supposed to use like once every other day. I keep forgetting to use it, so I just use it whenever I remember. With tea tree oil, I use it when I have pimples. So like I think I have a pimple here. I don't know if it's gone now, but anyway, I use it when I have a pimple. I just put a drop. It's concentrated tea tree oil. Put a drop there, and then it disappears after a while. So that's what I use tea tree oil for. That's about it. I do have things like coconut oil or whatever oil for your hair, and I use it when I remember to. If not, then you know they're all still quite full in my toilet. What else? Oh, I do have sheet mask on my face, and I do that once in a while. At one point, I was quite religious. I was doing it like every other day, and then I guess, you know, laziness sometimes gets better of you. So I've not been doing that for a while, but it's really easy. You know, you just put your sheet mask, and then you just, you know, set a timer, go about doing your things, take it out, throw it away, done. So face, skincare, very, very easy, super simple. Makeup is also very, very easy. It takes me like 5 minutes, genuinely 5 minutes, and that's why I can wake up, wash my face. If I do makeup, and then leave the house. Very, very fast. In fact, I rarely use makeup. I only use makeup when I go to conferences or when I have a bit like a business meeting. Otherwise, you know, I'm quite chill with makeup. What I do, I put brows. So I have like a little pencil thing, not really pencil, but like a crayon thing, and I just fill it in. I don't have, like, my brows are light, but they're still, you know, the shape is quite decent. So, you know, it's just giving a little bit more structure. And then I put mascara. I use 2 different kind of mascara, so 2 coats. And then sometimes I put lipstick, sometimes I don't. I'm trying to use my lipsticks more often because I keep getting them. So I'm just trying to use them more often. And that's it. I just have them. Do I have other stuff for face? Yes. I have this little cream palette, and you could use it to like put some rouge on your cheeks, or you can put eyeshadow. But after buying them, I realized I don't like any of these things. So I used it just a handful of times. But that's it. That's skincare. It's super, super easy. You know, life is very easy. It doesn't need to be so difficult. And I don't have this like crazy skincare routine. From what I learned, there's a lot of like this clean girl, that girl, lazy girl, eat girl kind of routine. And there's like 12 steps, 20 products. I don't care about that. I have like 3 products: a facial wash, a cream for pimples when I have to, like a dot for pimples, and then just moisturizer. Very simple, very easy. To be fair, I think I'm also very lucky to have pretty good genes when it comes to skin, and my mom still has extremely, extremely good skin. And yeah, being Asian, you just don't age that much, right? And then my skin just naturally is pretty good and decent, so that's fine. Okay, so everything body down. So I am basically like a dolphin, so I am basically hairless for some reason. So I really don't have to shave. Yeah, I mean, of course I can see little tiny hair, and sometimes you see like one hair that sticks out. Nobody can see it, only I can see it. I know it's stupid, but I can just pluck it out, and that's it. So I really never understood the whole point of the whole shaving thing, because I just never really experienced that. I once bought a shaver and I just didn't know, like, how often do I use it to justify like a $30 shaver? It was really, really stupid. So yeah, I'm very lucky I don't have that. The downside to that is that I get a lot of mosquito bites, and sometimes I feel like my skin gets a bit more dry. So I have a lot of creams at home. For my hands, when I go out, I used to not have a bag. All I have is my phone, and I don't really bring my wallet out that much, but now I do, because now I now also have a lot of bags, so I'm trying to use my bags more often, which means I just bring a bit more things out. So I always have a hand cream with me. And I have a hand cream in each room of my house. I have a hand cream in the living room. I just bought a new hand cream as well. And this hand cream is given to me by my neighbor. She is really obsessed with rose right now. So she's collecting a lot of rose stuff and she's been giving it to me. And I have been using it. In fact, this is done soon, which is why I bought a new one yesterday. And what I do is, you know, it's not that my hands are insanely dry. So because I lift at the gym, then I can see like my skin peeling sometimes. So I try to moisturize them more often. I also noticed that I feel like my hands got better. But in the past, my hands just looked a lot older than my age. I think now it's a bit better. But I want to say that's because I've been using a lot of hand cream. And there isn't a specific hand cream. I have used, I don't know, a lot of tubes in my life so far. And everywhere I travel, I always bring a tube with me. When I go out, I always try to bring a tube with me. And I always just, you know, just moisturize my hand when there's nothing else to do. The downside of that is that I kind of have to wash my phone quite often because it's just very like sticky and grimy and gross. So I try to wash my phone often, which is good, I think, because nobody cleans their phone and the phone has just a lot of bacteria. So hand cream. The other thing is when I go to sleep, I used to do this religiously every day. Now I don't do that so much, but I still do it like often enough. I've got a moisturizer. I tried different kind of moisturizer. I tried one that is like cocoa butter, and I actually smell like a piece of cake when I go to sleep. So after finishing that, I said I'm not going to use cocoa butter anymore. I had almond butter or almond milk. Oh, that was so nice. That was a gift from my brother actually. Actually, the gift from my brother, the moisturizer, was the reason why I started moisturizing every day. So I used the almond milk. After I finished, I tried the cocoa butter. Cocoa butter made me smell like food. Didn't like that. So now I changed to baby moisturizer. Really nice. I smell like powder. I don't know. I just smell like a baby. So put that on me every day when I sleep. I used to do this. I don't do it anymore, but I still have my gloves by my side. But when I sleep, I put a thick layer of baby lotion, and then I put gloves and I go to sleep. I think baby lotion is very thin and it absorbs into your skin very easily. But before that, like the cocoa butter or the almond milk, it's a bit thicker. So it doesn't get absorbed into your skin so much. So I wear gloves when I sleep. The baby one, I don't know. It's much more diluted and watery, so it just absorbs to my skin very quickly. So I don't need the gloves. So I put everything from my neck all the way down. But my skincare also ends at my neck, so I don't know. You just gotta protect your neck here. Oh, also sunscreen on my face when I go out. When I'm at home, don't really care. And then I put everything all the way to my legs. With my legs, depends on the day, I have different kind of cream. So there's one cream, it has urea, U-R-E-A. Urea is something I've learned that's very good to soften your skin of your legs. I think the other parts of your body as well, but my other parts of my body are very normal, but not my legs. So my legs, I use my legs a lot for all the sports that I do, and especially when it comes to ballet, you just put so much pressure on your feet, and you know, you can really hurt your feet. So I try to take a bit more care of my feet. So I put cream, I put urea, I wear socks, and you know, hopefully I can take care of my legs as my legs or my feet help me to dance a bit better. So that's what I try to do. And so that's everything on the inside of the outside of me. Okay, let's go to the inside of me before we go to the outside of me. So the inside of me will be mental health, stress, you know, psychology, philosophy, character, personality, things like that. Number one, it helps to grow up in a very healthy, loving household. I think that is why I don't understand a lot of struggles out there. Like all these mental health, whatever stuff that you read online or you read in those, Ask Nancy kind of magazine requests, it just seems a bit stupid, and it just seems completely irrational. Like, why is this? Why are you even asking this question? Why did you even put yourself in such a situation where you have to deal with this stupid thing? But I also learned to understand that I come from a very loving family. And to today, my parents are extremely loving and extremely patient, caring, and they're just really wonderful parents. And I know we have a lot of fights over the years, and there's a lot of times that we still have a lot of fights, and I still don't want to see, sometimes I just don't want to see them on the weekend. But in general, they are fantastic parents. They are extremely loving to all of us. They're extremely kind, gracious, open, and they let us do whatever we want. It's not that we come from any wealth or anything. We're a very, very normal family. But when we were young, we will take, fancy paper and fancy tape to make this play cooking game to play for 2 hours. And then everything gets thrown away after. But they didn't care. They let us do whatever we want. Me starting entrepreneurship, me running my own business, like one of my brothers also running his own business. It was, I would imagine a lot of parents would rather have the kids work for a company, work for the government. But they're quite chill. They're like, do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. As long as you don't do anything harmful or illegal, go try stuff. Life is about trying. You don't want to set up your path for you. So since young, growing up, I had a lot of freedom, and also being the eldest, I had some level of responsibility. So having a lot of freedom, having controlled responsibility, gives me a good playground to go and explore different things. So growing up was quite good. And then as I began to live in other places, not just travel, but live in other places, I got to open my eyes a bit more, got to see different things, got to experience different things, and it helped to shape me as who I am and how I see the world, and to some degree how I want the world to see me, which helps me grow up to become the version of me that I want to see. So I didn't live life by how other people saw me. In fact, I never lived life that way. I never really cared what other people said. Of course, I wouldn't want to wear something embarrassing to go out on the streets, but it's less about what people think, more about how I view me. So I would go out, in hat and gloves and nice bags and nice dress and take the public transport. And I've done that so many times. And I don't care. People stare all the time anyway, make it worth their while. But I wear it because I think it's the way I dress is a way of me respecting myself, which is what we're going to talk about in the third point, the outside of me. But internally, I think I have a very grounded perspective and foundation of who I am, what I stand for, my values, my principles. It took me a very long time to go figure this out. I think I was asked a question or was reflecting when I was 14 or 15. And the question was, what are your principles? Who are you? What are your values? Who are you if you have nothing left? And then I struggled with that for quite a while because I don't really know who I was back then. I don't think anyone knew when you're a teen. So it took a lot of years to go figure out, to go explore. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to go and live in a lot of different places, all these different continents and countries, for me to go and see the world and to go and experience something outside. And that had been proven very, very useful because today I'm even more sure of who I am. Of course, I do have different, not to the degree of breakdowns, but moments where I just pause everything, do a check-in, do a reflection, figure out where I am, take stock of who I am, where I want to go, and how I've been, and then figure out how to move forward. So I think that's quite healthy. So I do a lot of these kind of internal checks and balances. I also spend a lot of time figuring out how I work to understand myself a bit better, because I think when you understand yourself, you can go a lot further. You have a better direction and better approach of how you want to live your life. I think everyone's personal life is an unfinished piece of art, and you are the own artist. You are curating your own life. Okay, I am my own artist and I'm curating my own life. Every day I'm adding strokes to perfect this piece. It will never be perfect. There will be zero artists that will tell you, oh, my piece is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. That's a liar. And artists will never find a work perfect. You can always, always, always improve in one bit or another. I see that as me building my life. I am the artist, I am the art, and I'm constantly improving, even a little chisel off. I want to keep improving. And that's how I view the way I live life. And then I slowly developed a lot of different aspects of life. I write things down, I reflect, I plan ahead, I learn from mistakes. I fail a lot. I learn from mistakes. Learn to embrace new aspects, new visions. So for example, I used to be very, very uncomfortable with uncertainty. I hated uncertainty. In fact, I would say I feared uncertainties. I really hated that. And the good thing is, I have now embraced it. I wouldn't say that I love it now, but I would say I'm embracing it a lot more, and I'm learning to accept that as a much bigger part of my life. Not just my life, anyone's life. Nothing is certain. The only certain thing is death. So I'm very, very open to uncertainties now, to flexibilities, to change, to being more adaptable. And that's good. That's different parts of me that constantly grows and learns, and me being an artist, improving my piece of art. And of course, I've got post-it notes all around the house, and I even have post-it notes on the tripod of this camera. Things like, speak slowly, because I've been told I speak very fast. And I'm constantly reviewing who I am inside, what I stand for, and see what I can improve and what I don't want to. The truth is that it's very easy to say, okay, you have good morals and you're a good person. That's easy. And I want to say that's the thing I've been always optimizing for, to be a good person, to be a good, value-creating citizen of the world. But there are a lot of things that there's no such thing as right or wrong, right? Do I want to be a big boss CEO, or do I want to be a very good manager? Doesn't matter. They're all different paths of life. And that's the part that's really difficult. And that's what I spend a lot of time of my life reflecting. There are a lot of all road leads to Rome. And different roads, all roads will have difficulties and obstacles as well. There isn't one road that's ultimately better than the other. It's all relative. And so the hard choice is to choose which road you want to take to get to Rome. I've tried a path already. I really enjoyed that path, and now I want to try another path. And there's so many other paths out there. I've been experimenting with them. And, I want to say, as a person who's quite diligent/disciplined, any path I take, I think I can have a big ability to get to Rome. But ultimately, it's a choice of, is this difficulty in the path worth my time that I'm willing to spend on it? So, long story short, you're making a lot of decisions in life, and at different checkpoints of life, you slow down, reflect, take check of who you are, take stock of what you have, take stock of your experiences so far to figure out where you want to go next. And yeah, that's it. Also, being, generally a positive person, very healthy mentally. Of course, I deal with stress, and that's why I do a lot of sports. Yeah, I don't know where to put this. I guess this is part of the insight inside me, is how do you have work-life balance, right? I spend a lot of time alone. Reading, watching shows, doing nothing, chilling, thinking, reflecting, writing, doing bullshit stuff. Doesn't matter. I spend a lot of time alone, and I really like that. It's by choice, and I absolutely love that. In fact, I always think when I spend some time with other people, it means that I enjoy spending time with them more than spending time alone. And I really love spending time alone. So I need to really like these people, to spend a lot of time with them. So I enjoy spending time alone. I spend a lot of time with my family. I spend time with them like once a week with my family, and either as a family or with certain family members. Like this weekend, I didn't visit my parents because my parents were traveling, and so I had dinner with my brother, and he came over to just chill, and then we had dinner together. I spent time with friends, and I would say friends is the lowest priority of them all, because you only have so much time in the day, okay? So just FYI, it's not that I don't like my friends. I love my friends very much, but there's only so much time in the day. And then whatever new experiences, like sports. So I spend a lot of time on sports, trying to spend more time on sports as well. spend time on hobbies, different kind of hobbies. I spend time using my hands to build stuff. I spend time going to new experiences. You know, not trying to, but I am living a pretty varied, high quality life that I personally choose and want to live life this way. So that's what I think is important. The sports I do, to me, I think it's optimized for the way I live. I do yoga because it's flexibility, and flexibility is very, very good and very important. Do the gym because it's about lifting heavy things, which I want to do. I want to be able to lift very heavy shit because I'm an independent, strong woman. I want to be able to do things myself. And I call on men when I have to, you know. But I want to be able to do things myself. I'm not really the biggest fan of relying on people. Because I can do things myself, you know. If I want someone else, that is because I choose to do that, not because I have to. I know it's a very modern woman thinking after diving so much into history, but I think it's a way I respect myself. I need to be able to do shit and then ask for help if I want, but not because I need to, you know. Okay, so weightlifting is also very important for bone density. As we grow older, and I'm still very young, but as we grow older, your brain will reduce in density, and to increase in density, you got to start today and you got to start lifting heavy things. So that's what I do. The fun thing is to optimize for lifting, I lift with dumbbells, which means I can lift even more weights with barbells. I'm so proud about that. Okay. I also do tennis. That's part of cardio. That's part of, you know, focus. That's part of swings. That's part of using different movement of your body, and I love that. And then I do ballet. To me, ballet is yes, it's part of the sports, but ballet is elegance being shown. Ballet is doing something really, really difficult, making something difficult look so easy and effortless. To me, that's what expertise is. Doing something so difficult, but make it seem very, very easy. And that's what I really appreciate about ballet. It's really hard. There's some days that's so hard. I was in Georgia doing ballet, and then my ballet teacher, she's very good and she's very nice. Every time I do it right, she goes, "Good girl." And anyway, it's quite funny that she keeps saying "good girl." But she also screamed a lot at me. "You can do this, turn out more. Is your feet correct? Where are you pointing?" So that's a fun balance. And yeah, I do lots of sports, and I use my hands to do other hobbies. So I want to do calligraphy. I want to get back to writing Chinese characters, and probably doing some coloring because I bought a bunch of color pencils and I cannot refund because I didn't get the receipt. So I got to be coloring and use the color pencils, or maybe I'll be drawing. I don't know. But I want to get back to watercolor painting as well. That's the reason why I want to do calligraphy as well, so I can mix both the same medium in different forms. Anyway, that's everything on the inside of me. So there's the inside of me. So my skin, my hair, I don't know, yeah. And then the inside of me is my thinking, my thoughts, stress management, exercise, how I spend my time, my philosophy, my values. Now let's talk about outside of me. So today, it's like, I'm not going out and I'm just at home chilling, so I'm just wearing my home t-shirt. But outside of me would be how I show up, how I dress. And I know, like, I don't explicitly dress up to go out. I just dress up because that's how I live my life. And I know that every time I go out, people stare. In fact, weirdly, the older I get, I mean, I'm still young, but the older I get, the more people are staring. And I initially was very uncomfortable. I mean, people are really staring. People are also taking pictures of me, and I hate it. And it's legal in Singapore to take pictures of other people outside, and I hate it. But what can you do, right? So I would just move away or whatever. But I mean, people would take pictures of me randomly, and people just stare a lot, and then all walk past you and look back to stare at you. So, you know, in Chinese they call 回头率, which is the rate of people turning their heads back to look at you. It's increasing now. I realized I really don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't like these additional attention. So I think I'm quite excited to be growing old where you get less attention, but I don't think that will reduce anytime soon. But I do dress up. I do show up appropriately. So for example, with the recent conference, on Monday I wore a wool blend tweed dress, cream, and a very nice bright blue and white blazer, Chinese blazer that I bought in Beijing. And every day when I dress up, or like the way I show up and go out, and I would do that on a normal day as well, people always ask me where I buy different things. So I wore that, and I know that people were staring all the time. Like the moderators, the round table, they were all looking at me. And the funny thing is, people will say, "Oh, I think I saw you yesterday," because of how I dressed. But I don't really remember people because they were wearing blazers. They all look the same to me. Anyway, so and then the second day I wore my hot pink A-line dress with a blazer, and the theme was black and gold because I wore my suede black blazer. And I always have I always cover my shoulders, cover my knees whenever I can. And then I have my golden brooch. I have everything is black and gold that day, with just the skirt that is a bit brighter. And that was very nice. I mean, I like the way I dress. So it was very nice, and people were, I think dressing up makes it approachable for people to talk to you, I guess. And then the third day, I wore a teepao. So I wore a teepao and a blazer, I think, or just a teepao. Yeah, teepao and blazer. Because the teepao was very, very comfy. I love that so much. And I look good in my clothes because I buy clothes that fits me, or I tailor it to fit me. So my clothes always look good on me. And that is how I dressed up and how I showed up. And every time I go out, I make sure I dress appropriately. Sometimes I wear a hat. And sometimes I've got a lot of hats. I wear hats, I wear gloves, I have different kind of bags. And my clothes are not fancy. They just fit me. Their tailoring is everything. But I'm also very lucky. Most of the clothes I take off the rack, they fit me very, very well. They fit me very, very well. I still get my clothes tailored, but I think I just need to tailor 10% of my clothes. The rest of them just fits me perfectly. And yeah, I also have a bunch of shoes. I stopped buying shoes. I have 15 to 20 pairs of shoes, and they work very well in different things that I go to. And of course, Thursday, Friday, I also went out. And depending on the occasion, I dressed differently, and it was all good. I really appreciated the way I show up, and I also know that it's not just the rate of people turning their heads, but I was at this wine bar thing, and I wore my cocktail dress. I really love this cocktail dress, and it's beads and sequin or whatever, and each of them they're hand sewn. So I love this kind of stuff. It's like a piece of art. And I wear it because you go for cocktails, right? So you wear a cocktail dress to go for cocktails. And I was going to the bathroom, and then this group of guys, they were drinking, and then this guy, let's say this is the bar, this is the bar, and it's facing the bar. And as I was walking past, he went, and he was just looking at me the entire time, with the mouth open. And I thought, oh wow, okay. Then I quickly ran away. Don't like this kind of attention. And yeah, when I was in Tbilisi as well, I dress well. It's not just about dressing. I think to me, fashion is a statement of yourself, respect of oneself, and respect of the event and your company. And so I always dress appropriately. The last day in Tbilisi, my mom and I went to a rooftop restaurant. We had some food. We were just chatting because it's starting to get very cold, but it was still sunny. So before the sun goes down, it's chill, cold, yet warm from the sun's ray. And so we were just, sitting there, chatting and chilling. There were only 2 tables occupied, my table and another table at the end. And that table were a group of German guys. And then it's quite funny because I went all the way to see if the view was better so we could get a table there. Turns out I don't think the view was better. In fact, the sun was much nicer where we sat. So as I went there, they stopped talking, they were looking, and people do that all the time anyway, so I was fine. Then I went to find a table that I liked, sat there. And so to go to the toilet, they could either pass the table or go inside the restaurant and go to the toilet. But for some reason, everyone, when they go to the toilet multiple times, they keep passing out table to go in, passing out table to go in. And I thought that was so funny. Again, this is not about drawing attention. I think it's about showing up. And yeah, I think showing up in a way that looks respectable to yourself and to your company, or like the company person you're with, or to the event is very important. At least to me, I think it's very important. It completes everything. The outside inside, which is your skin, or like your physical being, and then your inside your mental being, and then your outside, which is the way you show up. And you know, that is pretty much it. And then when you add other things like, you know, charisma or aura or personality, you know, it completes everything. So anyway, all I want to say is, people like to say to be low maintenance, you need to be high maintenance. Everything I told you about is just really low maintenance. Skincare, body care, whatever, it's just normal. It's just taking care of yourself. And I take it as, you know, I spend 5 minutes a day just taking care of myself, listening to myself. That's a way of, you know, self-care. Super cheap, super easy, not a lot of time spent. The inside, I think it's more important. You know, reading books, doing exercise, hang out with people, reflecting, doing hobbies, learning. This takes a lot of time. This takes energy. Nobody can see that. But as long as you enjoy doing it, it's easy. I don't even think it's work. I just truly enjoy them. Sure, sometimes it feels like work. Like today, I'm supposed to go to tennis. I want to say it was raining the whole day, so the court is completely wet. But it's a bit of a pain for me to drag myself out of the sofa. So I'm sorry about that. But there's some days that I'm just not very productive, right? So inside takes a little bit more time, and then the outside would be, you know, dressing up and stuff like that. I don't shop a lot. In fact, I have not bought anything in a very long time. The last thing I bought was a piece of art, like an actual painting. And yeah, the last thing I bought was some clothes that I don't remember when. So I don't really buy a lot of things, and I buy things when I see them, they fit me, then I buy it. Otherwise, I just don't buy things. It's just, I have enough. I truly have enough. Some days I open the closet and think, oh, what to wear. But I also know I truly have enough. I have a lot of things, and I collect high quality pieces that are high quality, unique, ideally natural material. You don't always get that. Sometimes you get a blend, but I always look for natural material. They must be unique and they need to fit me. If they don't fit me, but it fits everything else, then I just go to the tailor and get it tailored. But otherwise, you know, pretty chill life and pretty easy. I just go and hunt for them whenever I see it. I don't obsessively go shopping. I think that can be quite a bit of a waste of time. And once in a while, I buy a few pieces, mix and match them, and see how it fits me. That's it. Like, life is really, really simple. Life is really easy. Life can be as easy as you want it to be. That's what I would say. And I'm also lucky to be able to, you know, say all of these and do all of these, because there are a lot of things that made it possible for me to live that life. Like my genes, for example. There are a lot of, like, having the skin it's just pure genes. No hair, so I don't have to do any like body maintenance. Genes. Long, black, straight hair, easy to maintain. Genes. Healthy mindset and everything. I think probably there's a bit more environment than genes, because I don't think you can pass any of that thing. Like, if someone has, I don't know, mental health issues, I don't think they can just pass it to the kids. So I think the inside is probably not genes related. Anyway, I think it's more environment, and I'm also very glad to be in an environment that allows me to live the best quality of my life. So all in all, I just want to say that life can be as easy as you want it to be if you know how to do it. And I don't know why people are hating on so many different things. There's better ways to spend your energy. Till then, I'll speak to you next time. Bye.